Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy and welcome to 1976. This is another in my series where I go through each year and tell you my favorite album, my favorite song, my favorite movie, and my favorite TV show from each year. One caveat is I have to have a physical copy in order to pick it. And with the TV shows, they are only eligible their debut season. I know I've not been very prolific in getting these things out, but I'm trying my best. So anyway, let's get into 1976. My fourth runner-up is Boston, their debut album entitled Boston. On the Epic label. Yeah, this one's just hard to ignore. I don't play this album as much anymore, but I remember when it came out, it was quite the revelation. I mean, every song on this album was getting radio play. It's probably one of the best debuts ever. Self-titled album, Boston. My, what is that, fourth runner-up? My third runner-up. Small Change, Tom Waits. Now, I'm a big Tom Waits fan, and for my favorite Tom Waits album to be in fourth place, that shows what type of year this was. They got great such songs, and they have some long song titles too, like Tom Trobot's Blues, Four Sheets to the Wind in Copenhagen, Jitterbug Boy, Sharing the Curbstone with Chucky Weiss, Robert Marchese, Paul Brady, and The Mug and Artie. I Wish I Was in New Orleans in the Ninth Ward. And of course, there's a song, The Piano Has Been Drinking, Not Me, An Evening with Pete King. I'm going to try and put a link down below. If you haven't seen him perform that on Fernwood Tonight, which is kind of this parody of talk shows with Martin Mull, it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, Tom Waits, Small Change, favorite Tom Waits album. And my second runner-up from Arlo Guthrie, the album Amigo. There he is on the Reprise label. Son of renowned folk singer Woody Guthrie, Arlo followed his own path, incorporating a little bit of 60s hippie culture. I think this is his best collection of songs, such as Massachusetts, not the Bee Gees tune, Patriot's Dream, not the Gordon Lightfoot song, and My Love, not the Paul McCartney tune. And then like Darkest Hour is another really good one. He also does this traditional African song, Gwabi Gwabi, covers the Rolling Stones' Connection, and sings about folk singer from Chile, Victor Jara. I wonder if Christian Osario knows that tune. Anyway, and also has a little bit of that Arlo Guthrie humor in the song Grocery Blues. I like every song on this album. I think it's his best. Arlo Guthrie, Amigo. Now my first runner-up, this was a tough one. I went back and forth, but I ended up choosing Graham Parker's Heat Treatment. Now I could easily have picked his debut album that came out that same year, Howlin' Wind, which is another great album. If I'm being honest, maybe both of them should have been in my top 5, but anyway, this is the second album by pub rocker whose songs are infused with a little bitterness and some incendiary rock and roll with an R&B flavor. Songs like the title track, Pouring It All Out, Backdoor Love, and the Stonesy Hotel Chambermaid. Just fantastic music from Graham Parker on the Mercury label. Of course, later he would do a song called Mercury Poisoning when he ran afoul with the management at Mercury. My favorite album from 1976, it's this Warren Zevon album. Now, Warren Zevon is one of my favorite artists, and I think his self-titled album is his best, although his next album would bring him his most popularity with Excitable Boy, had Werewolves of London on it. Even though he made friends with Jackson Browne and others from the Laurel Canyon scene, his lyrics and topics were more like if Quentin Tarantino had been a songwriter, with songs about the James brothers, a heroin junkie in Carmelita, and wild rock and roll lifestyle, and I'll Sleep When I'm Dead. It also has Poor Poor Pitiful Me, Hasten Down the Wind, and Mohammed's Radio, all songs that would be covered later by Linda Ronstadt. And for me, the highlight, though, is Desperados Under the Eaves, which is the last track. Just classic album. Every song on there is great. Warren Zevon. Now for my favorite song of 1976. Coming my fourth runner-up from Jackson Browne. It's the title track, The Pretender. This song is what turned me into a Jackson Browne fan, and then I would later seek out his earlier albums. It's a song about disillusionment in love and in life and losing sight of your dreams. It also has Graham Nash and David Crosby on backing vocals. My third runner-up from Arlo Guthrie, and it's the last song on side one, Patriot's Dream. This is just a beautiful tune ruminating on the loss of 60s political idealism. He even throws in a line from Phil Ochs, the great 60s protest singer. Yeah, give Patriot's Dream a listen. My second runner-up from Rolling Stones album Black and Blue. It's not listed on the outside of the album, but on the inner sleeve at the song Memory Motel. Now, this is my favorite ballad by the Stones and one of Mick's best vocal performance, but also has Keith singing too. Just the narrator kind of ruminates about the lost love and that how it's only a memory now. It also has some nice acoustic guitar played by Wayne Perkins, who also played on Bob Marley's Catch a Fire album and Joni Mitchell's Court and Spark. Yeah, Memory Motel by the Stones. My first runner-up is from this album by Graham Parker. It's the title track, Heat Treatment. It's a wonderful R&B tinged pub rock classic. The band really flexes its muscles on this track, and I really love the sax work of John Earlier and Albie Donnelly, plus trombonist Danny Ellis and trumpet by Dick Hansen. It's a song that definitely has some swagger. I could imagine Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes doing this song. That would probably be the U.S. equivalent, Southside Johnny. But yeah, Graham Parker, underrated artist for sure. And my favorite song from 1976 from Warren Zevon and a self-titled album, closing track, Desperados, Under the Eaves. I love this tune, which I would call sarcastic melancholy. I love the clever wordplay and the beautiful orchestration. Zevon sings as if his fate is already sealed with such lyrics as, and if California slides into the ocean like the mystics and statistics say it will, I predict this motel will be standing until I pay my bill. Yeah, Warren Zevon. My favorite song from 1976, Desperados, Under the Eaves. And now for my favorite film of 1976. And I just wanted to clarify that these are not necessarily what I think are the best films. They're just my favorites, although some of them I may think are the best films as well. But anyway, my fourth runner-up, Logan's Run, directed by Michael Anderson. It's a cool sci-fi movie with a unique premise. In this enclosed city, your life is terminated once you reach 30. They call it renewal. The protagonist is what they call a runner, played by Michael York, responsible for hunting down those who tried to avoid this process. Actually, in the original novel, your life ended at 21. It's also got the beautiful Jenny Agutter right there with Michael York. It's also got Farrah Fawcett as well. But yeah, Logan's Run, my fourth runner-up. My third runner-up is A Marathon Man, directed by John Schlesinger. You know my love for conspiracy thrillers, and this is a really good one with Dustin Hoffman, a grad student and runner caught up in a conspiracy with government agents and a Nazi war criminal. Laurence Olivier is great as the evil Dr. Zell, handy with a dentist drill. Is it safe? No, it isn't. My second runner-up from this twofer, and it's All the President's Men, directed by Alan J. Pakula. Engrossing movie highlighting the Watergate scandal under President Nixon and showing journalism in its purest form as we see Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman as reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, who uncovered the story. Unfortunately, newspapers do not have the investigative reporters that they once had, and cable news has kind of taken over as the main news source for many people instead of newspapers, much to our detriment. Yeah. All the President's Men. My first runner-up is the movie Network, directed by Sidney Lumet. A wonderful, cynical send-up of network television with Peter Finch, who won an Oscar, as network anchor Howard Beale, whose ratings are diminishing, and his crazy response to his firing that changes everything. Faye Dunaway and William Holden are also great as network executives, and great character dialogue by Patty Chayefsky. Just brilliant. Network. And my favorite film of 1976, Taxi Driver, directed by Martin Scorsese. Scorsese's amazing character study, masterly played by Robert De Niro, of an individual unable to connect with people, which leads to extreme frustration. It's kind of an uneasiness exists throughout the movie, kind of an atmospheric nightmare. I remember after watching this film at the theater, walking outside and going, what did I just see? But not in a bad way, in a great way. It's just a film that stays with you. Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver. Also, Jodie Foster is great in this movie as well. I will say for television, 1976 wasn't a banner year, as I only had 3 that I could find in my collection worthy to talk about. Maybe there were more, but like I said, they're only eligible their debut season. And here are 3 debuts that I thought worth talking about. My second runner-up is the TV show Quincy. This stars Jack Klugman as an LA County medical examiner who runs into many suspicious deaths. Originally part of the NBC Sunday Mystery Series, it became popular enough to spin off into a regular weekly series. Had some great mysteries, and Klugman's irascibility was a big highlight. Yeah, Quincy, my second runner-up. And now for my first runner-up, Charlie's Angels. Definitely a series of its time, with 3 beautiful detectives working for a wealthy mystery man, voiced by John Forsythe. It starred Kate Jackson, right there, Jaclyn Smith, and Farrah Fawcett. I think everybody picked out their favorite angel, but many young men had a famous picture of Farrah Fawcett in their bedroom. There were changes throughout the years. We also got Cheryl Ladd later, then Shelley Hack and Tanya Roberts. But yeah, definitely a series of its time, but still enjoyable. It brings back memories for nostalgia's sake. My favorite TV show from 1976, it's SCTV. Now this started kind of as a response to Saturday Night Live. Second City was a comedy club in Chicago, which did improvisational comedy. Later they opened one in Toronto, and a lot of the people that were performing in the Toronto club joined to do this television program called SCTV. We had Eugene Levy, John Candy, Andrea Martin, Catherine O'Hara, Joe Flaherty, and then Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. Rick Moranis was actually the only one that didn't perform at the SC Comedy Club, Second City Comedy Club. But you had Joe Flaherty, was just great as the Count Floyd, and then Dave Thomas did one of the best Bob Hope impersonations. But yeah, it was kind of showed a day of programming on this fake network that was kind of a parody of network television. Dave Thomas, like I said, does a great Bob Hope. I just watched an episode where they parodied Taxi Driver, which I mentioned is my favorite film. They did it with Woody Allen playing Travis Bickle, and also Gregory Peck playing Travis Bickle. But yeah, SCTV, classic comedy television. And that's my favorite for 1976. Please list your favorites down below and see if I know any of them or where I was wrong on some of my picks. And hope everyone's doing well, and see you in 1977.